Arthur's unlucky morning. He checked his wardrobe, but it was completely empty of professional clothes. He then remembered that he had left all of his clean shirts in the laundry basket downstairs. The only thing he could find to wear was a bright neon tracksuit. He had bought it years ago for a party, and he had never intended to wear it in public again. Arthur rushed to the kitchen for a quick breakfast. Because he was a bit of a butterfingers when he was in a hurry, he dropped his spoon. He reached into the fridge for what he thought was a carton of milk. However, he had accidentally bought a bottle of beetroot juice the day before. He had already poured the dark red liquid over his cereal before he saw the mistake. He hurried to the bathroom to wash his face, but when he looked in the mirror, he let out a shout. The previous evening, he had tried to dye his hair a natural brown. Unfortunately, he had picked up the wrong box at the store. He had dyed his hair bright green, and he had not noticed it in the dim light of the evening. Arthur lived on the top floor of a 7-story building. He grabbed his bag and ran to the elevator, pressing the button repeatedly. He soon discovered that the elevator had broken down an hour earlier. He realized he had to run down all the flights of stairs if he wanted to reach the station on time. As Arthur was sprinting down the stairs, he didn't see the obstacle in his path. He was quite clumsy when he was stressed. His neighbor, Benedict, had left a large plastic bucket full of soapy water on the landing. Arthur had already tripped over it before he could stop his feet, soaking his tracksuit completely. He finally reached the train station, gasping for air. He saw the train conductor, a tall man named Silas, standing on the platform. Silas looked at his watch and shook his head. He told Arthur that the last train to the city had already departed 5 minutes ago. Arthur had missed his final chance to make it to his meeting. Arthur sat on a bench and decided to eat the snack he had prepared. He took a large bite of his sandwich, but his face immediately turned red. In his rush, he had used a thick layer of horseradish instead of mustard. He had not checked the label because he had been in such a hurry to leave the house. To distract himself, he opened the book he was carrying. However, he couldn't find his place because he had lost his silver bookmark. He looked around and saw a messy stack of old newspapers and a pile of trash nearby, but his bookmark was nowhere to be found. He realized he had probably dropped it when he had fallen on the stairs. Arthur sat quietly and took a deep breath. He realized that although he had experienced a terrible morning, he was still okay. He had lost his dignity, his hair was green, and his clothes were wet, but the sun was finally coming out. He decided that since he had already missed work, he would simply go to the park and enjoy the rest of the day.